What's up, y'all? Cosmic Cage back with another video. And in this one, we're going back to reaction videos. And ever so often, there's always these buzz terms that take over the dating world. And the one I want to cover today is emotional intelligence. I'm pretty sure you've heard that word over and over and over again, but what exactly does it mean? And what are the pros and cons that come with emotional intelligent people? Now, I do understand that that is very important when it comes to a relationship dynamic or just in regular everyday life. But it seems like sometimes these terms get overused and sometimes have been used as an attack. I want people to fully understand when they ask for something, what comes with that. And I think you have to understand the full context of what that actually means. So I just want to share you this video of this guy just breaking down his take on emotional intelligence and why certain people say they want it, but when they receive it, why they struggle with it. So sit back, relax, and then we're going to comment on this video after.
Everyone says they want someone emotionally intelligent until they actually meet one. Then they jump ship. We romanticize it, someone who understands me, someone who communicates, someone who's self-aware. But here's the truth nobody wants to admit. You love emotional intelligence until emotional intelligence sees through you. Because, emotionally intelligent people don't just listen, they notice patterns, they notice inconsistencies, they notice tone shifts, they notice avoidance, they notice manipulation, even, the subtle kind you don't think anyone catches. Everyone loves emotional intelligence when it comforts them, when it gives them empathy, when it understands their trauma, when it validates their feelings, when it makes them feel safe. But emotional intelligence isn't just soft, it's sharp, it's uncomfortable, it's a mirror. And that's where most people break, because emotional intelligence will call you out, gently but directly. It'll say things like, why did you shut down instead of communicate? And why did you twist my words? And that wasn't miscommunication, that was avoidance. And that wasn't a joke, that was gaslighting. That's not insecurity, that's narcissistic behavior. And suddenly we start saying things to people like, you're too intense. You tell them you feel attacked. You tell them you're overthinking this. You tell them you're too sensitive. No, you just don't like being held accountable. Emotionally intelligent people force a level of honesty that most relationships never reach. They don't let your old patterns slide. They don't let your toxic behaviors go unnoticed. They don't fall for manipulation. They don't feed your ego. They don't dance around your wounds. They expose them. And that's why people run. Not because emotional intelligence is overwhelming, but because it disrupts their avoidance, their denial, their ego, their narratives, their control. Everyone wants emotional intelligence in a partner until emotional intelligence, shines a light on the parts of you you've been avoiding your whole life. That's the real reason people say it's too much. No one has to go that deep. Why can't we just move on? Because real emotional intelligence doesn't just love you, it reveals you. And most people aren't ready for that.
All right, there you have it there with that video. Again, I always say this every time there is a buzzword, and I think that a lot of times people don't fully understand a lot of the things that they hear or they ask for when it comes to a lot of dating experience. It's just become such a popular term that it's something that you tend to use in your dating experience. And I do understand that it's very important to highlight good qualities in dating experience and relationships, but you have to fully understand the context of what you're asking for and everything that comes with it. Too often, when people ask for emotional intelligence, they want just the good parts that come with it. They want you to shower them with praise. They want you to understand when they're going through things. They want you to communicate effectively that their feelings aren't hurt. In reality, it's the good and the bad that comes with that. And when you actually go into a relationship, you understand that a lot of the bad times make a lot of your core experience. And what you have to understand is that every relationship is going to come with its ups and downs. And if you ask for someone that's emotionally intelligent, they're going to call out some of your bad behavior or patterns that you have exhibited and got away with a lot of your past experiences. So all I'm saying is that just be responsible for what you ask for in a person. I would always say this, before you ask for anything in a person, I want you to sit down, I want you to write that list. I want you to fully understand what each term means. And on top of that, I want you to sit there in the mirror and look and say, do I have these things? Because on top of emotional intelligence, I always talk about emotional sensitivity. Sometimes when people say that people cannot properly communicate, or when they say they're too emotional or don't have enough emotion, it is directly rooted in how you respond to a lot of the things that they say. So if I am saying something to you, if I say it in a negative or attack-based way, your natural thing is to be defensive. So me, even though I came with the right idea, the way I portrayed it and communicated it was poor. And I think a lot of people need to understand that just because you have a right of what you're saying, you do have to have a responsibility on how you communicate it to that person, especially your partner. And I think that's the part that lacks in a lot of experiences. People tend to just say, since it is something good that I'm saying, it doesn't matter how, when, or all the different factors that come with it. And on top of this, like I said, emotional intelligent people, as he talked about here, are not going to let you get away with things. They're going to notice these patterns. They're going to notice you shutting down. They're going to notice you avoiding things. And you're going to have to face it directly head on. And I always say this, a broken person will always be like a bunch of broken glasses. You can see bits and pieces of yourself when you look at them. But when you meet someone who is healed, who's done the work to help themselves, it's like looking in a mirror, because you have to look back at yourself and you have to make sure that you have the good quality traits to make you a good person. Again, it's Cosmic Cage back with another video. Hopefully you take something from this. Hopefully you understand a little bit more about emotional intelligence and how that incorporates into the dating experience, whether it's good and whether it's bad. Other than that, hope you have a great day.